of people. So, so, I hope you guys can hear me, but I'm gonna check right now. Let's see. Yellow, yellow, yellow. What's up? What's up? Okay, so it's delayed with his own, so that's it. Um, so welcome to the channel, people. Um, I jumped on, and I barely do these. You know, I got to do something about doing one of these. Um, but welcome. So I did the post. I did a video on uh, um, exhibiting forgiveness. Yeah, I did a video on that. So I feel like that the message that I gave was vague, and I wanted to go into it a little bit more because I feel like it keeps repeating itself in my reality. This forgiveness thing. So I decided to jump on here to talk to y'all about it. So I think I'm gonna pull a few cards. I'm reaching for them. So I guess I'll pull a few cards. Um, so as some of y'all may know, you may not know, I had a podcast, Metaphorically Slutty, that I haven't done in some time. Um, because of the way they changed the recording, how you record, um, it is not as convenient as it once was, and I just didn't want to do it the way they were suggesting. We could do it, so I put that on pause. Um, but yeah, I kind of missed the podcast, but we're here now. Um, but exhibiting forgiveness. So I know Venus is direct, Mercury is direct, and there's many other things going on, and uh, astronomically that I don't know because I don't study astronomy in that way when it comes to the planets. And but I'm able to channel the energy that's coming in. So um, when I recorded the video for exhibiting forgiveness, I think it was like a few days ago, maybe longer. I think it was a few days ago. So what I recognized in before I recorded that video is that it was going to be a lot of people that needed to forgive themselves. And once you start to align yourself, or once you start to peel back the layers of forgiving yourself, there is a pathway that you trace yourself forward or back to, and it'll lead to it is eventually lead to like ancestral work. Like you'll wind up recognizing what how things affected you, And then you may recognize that your parents, you know, some of the things that they believed in rubbed off on you. And not that they were healthy, but it was just the way they were raised based on circumstances, the year they were born, the environment, all those play a part in what shapes a person's personality and how that aspect of a personality can be injected into their children, right? And so I knew that a lot of that was going to be coming up for a lot of people. Um, Hold on, I dropped the card. And it has been coming up in the celebrity realm too. Okay, it's been coming up in the celebrity realm too, where there, because what you're going to see is you're going to see people expressing things that's considered dark out loud. So a lot of people are going to be living out loud. Things that you feel like, oh, they should say that for, they should take that to the grave and things of that nature. That's not going to be the case. That's not going to be the case. People are going to be speaking their truth and freeing themselves. This is going to be a time of liberation and freedom, but not necessarily at the celebratory stage just yet. It's not at that stage yet. It is there is a celebration in freeing yourself from something that you've been holding on to. But there's a celebration there, period. And freeing yourself and being able to say something out loud. And yes, this is part of the celebration. How people feel about your celebration, that really shouldn't be your concern. But when you have done the work, this is what I was meaning to say. When you have done the work and you are ready to peel all parts of you back to where nothing is holding you back, nothing can be a blockage for you. There's not anything that you want to hold on to or to burden you in any kind of way. You don't want to have any secrets with yourself that could affect you and how you live your life and the choices that you make. Once you're able to see things from that lens and from that perspective, and how everything connects to everything within your life, how everything is connected. Once you begin to agree with that and understand how certain actions that you do could veer you off of a path that that you're supposed to be on, like self-sabotaging, or certain things that you do could your actions put you in alignment with something that starts to bring in all of the things that you've been wanting to consistently and readily available to you. Once you begin to understand some of the laws of nature in that way, you will do the groundwork of, hit the ground running with who are you, who have you been, and has your life been a representation of the whole aspect of yourself or a distorted version of yourself? Crazy. Crazy. Because a lot of us that have gone through trauma, abuse, neglect, abandonment, a lot of us that have gone through those things has not have because of those things we have not given ourselves full permission to step into our full power in a whole way. Because some people can step into their power, but sometimes their version of stepping into power could be stepping on someone else to get there and not even recognize it, not even be aware of it. Because the way you have been operating and the way that that program has embedded itself in you, you're not even aware of it to point it out. You know what I'm saying? It's like a it's not like an it's kind of like an illusion, but it's something like in your like in when you drive in. Some people may uh, call a certain spot a blind spot when they can't see a car. It's kind of like that. It's a subconscious thing that how you act and how you portray your character or how your character comes across is the way you view it as you're living in it. That's the and that's where the saying goes comes into play. Be in this world, not of it. Is that if you can be able to observe yourself in this world, observe how you do things, and from a neutral perspective, and not from emotional or attachment sort of perspective. You're not attached to the outcome of what your actions may do. You relinquish yourself from that control, recognizing where you're trying to control things in your life, and then relinquishing it after you point it out and bring it out to the surface. Then make a choice, making set the intention to relinquish yourself from that idea or perspective of who you think you should be based on how you were brought up to see things. And so that's when you start to talk about how you were groomed. You talking about your root chakra. You talking about your um your first chakra. Your root chakra is your grounding chakra, but there's one before that one, and they go hand in hand. Um, I can't think of what they call it, but that's your root chakra, your stability and your foundation, and how you it shaped how you see things. It shaped your perspective. It shaped your opinion, and a lot of people live by that. There's people who call them values. Some people call them tradition that they live by or are entrapped by. It's our perspective. So the energy of relinquishing ourselves from uh, past DNA trauma, whether it be in this lifetime or previous lifetime, passed on to you through ancestral DNA um, lineages, will be coming to the forefront more and more. You're going to see a lot more of it. Um, there's a confrontation of self that will be happening. Um, Self versus self, I guess you can say. Um, So if you are personally going through something like that, because I know for myself, I've been experiencing it, and some of the symbology that you'll see is a lot of tires. You'll see tires, like flat tires, tires you put on car, maybe like a stack of tires, like somebody's throwing it out or something like that. You may see it on the corner. You'll see tires. When you're going through that transformation process, you're going to see tires. You'll see different symbolism that represent transformation, um, and you'll start to pay attention to animals in your environment. Um, but tires has been a thing, man. Like as I've been relinquishing aspects of myself that I define myself by, where it felt like I was entrapping myself. Um, you'll start to see like dragonflies, which represent transformation, but you'll see different animals. You just see different things that come into your life where you like, and it'll feel random, but you'll know it means something. And you don't really have to look too hard, and that's another thing too. It was something wild. Oh man, this is wild. What you will realize is that as you're beginning to relinquish certain things, you realize that there's a difference in your body mechanics, like how you digest food, what foods you want to eat, your appetite. It all changes. Your body chemistry, um, if you used to like it, you like your house or you know what I'm saying, your room, you may have liked it like room temperature, but then you may go from that to like wanting it really, really, really cold. You know what I'm saying? Um, you may feel the need to stretch your body out more, jog more, work out more, because it's it's your body reacting to your level of memory and how you're able to retain things and remember things. Because, like I said, when you start to retrace your steps, you start to look back on certain things that you didn't realize before that may have happened in your childhood or may have affected you in your childhood. Um, you begin to remember things more. It's almost like there's this kind of quantum leap or this quantum jump that happens that starts to heal you in the mechanics of your brain and how it works. It's 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 a it's a thing. Um, as you begin to heal, how overall you will begin to heal. Um, like some people, let's just say if they're in a toxic relationship or whatever, they're in a toxic relationship, and once they leave their relationship, you may notice that they're more bubbly, they're more outgoing, or they're more open to try new things. Um, that's a real thing. That's because something that they release no longer is burdening them in that way. It's the same thing with when you change the way you eat and your body begins to look different. You know, it's a real thing when you anything that you feel about yourself happens first within. It happens first within your thoughts and your emotions. And once those two kiss, that you hear people talk about, especially in the entertainment industry, that kiss, once that kiss happens, that solidifies the the ground and the soil for it to then bear fruit. So how you perceive yourself and what places you go to eat dinner, what places you go to take care of yourself or to have fun. And all those will play a part in that, how you how you treat yourself physically. You know what I'm saying? So if you are feeling really, really icky in the inside, and there's just certain things that you just can't understand or quite grasp why you went through certain things internally. If you're in battle with that, if your body's in a disagreement, it may show up in you feeding yourself things that will mess up your teeth, or give you acne, or uh, you like have you overweight, or make you smell a certain way. Um, Something that may be hard to digest, make your stomach hurts, create certain things that happen in your body. That's the after effect of something that is going on with you internally, spiritually, that's being abandoned, and that's offsetting your pH balance, your natural chemistry of your body. I think you all know that, but I feel the need to say it again anyway. So, and I recognize those things within myself. I recognize those things within myself. That has been something that I've had to understand. Like when I'm feeling bad about myself, I go do risky things. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking care of myself as much. Um, and it's gonna show in some sort of way when I'm not. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna show in my attitude, it's gonna show up like how I show up. I'm not gonna be my full self. I wanna be very guarded. Um, you know what I'm saying? You can just tell when a person is on a good foot, is in their energy, is in their aura. And it's the same thing when they're not. You can tell by a person lack of mobility in their body, like they can't stretch, or they're very rigid how they turn in their neck and stuff like that. Like you can see the tension that's built up, that there's an internal fight that's going on. So um, you a lot of people will begin to free themselves. Um, how you do that, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? As long as it's not hurting anybody else, I say free yourself, because there's going to be some freeing that needs to happen. Even um, some having some difficult conversations with people that you never thought you would have. And for the ones who aren't able to have those conversations with those people, maybe because the person is deceased, maybe the person lives too far, or maybe you just have a hard time finding yourself in the same place with that person. It's just something that's too difficult for you to do. I would suggest writing a letter to them and burning it. Um, I would highly suggest that. Just a way to get it out of your system, because there's a need to make room, um, because things are shifting so quickly. There's just a necessity to make room. Um, some of y'all may even start giving away things, or yeah, giving away things, maybe donate things to a shelter, or you know what I'm saying, or feeling some need to be of service to people. Some things like that may happen. To put yourself in alignment with putting out good, being of service to people, and that will being of service to people, it gives you a new perspective about life. It makes you open. it creates an opening to where you're able to see something from a different perspective. And it's a way of also uh, being open to being shown what gratitude is at a certain degree, right? Because that's what these things are about. It's about seeing things in different degrees, right? Um, but I will say this from my experience thus far in this particular situation where relinquishing strongholds have been effective for me. Um, and how it has opened up things for me has started with the power of forgiveness. Because, and I've said this before, I think if you can forgive yourself, and to forgive yourself, you have to recognize that there's something within yourself that you haven't been given to yourself 100%. You haven't focused on yourself 100% or 120%. You haven't put your absolute best foot forward, like living today like this is my only day type energy. Like, I'm going to live my life like it's golden every day. I'm going to celebrate every day. If you have not been living in that way like I haven't, then that is because you've given your power away somewhere, or you have agreed that you're not taking ownership of how valuable or how great, you're not acknowledging how great you are based on a circumstance or a situation that happened in your life, that you are still grading yourself by in this phase of your life. You are still subscribed to that idea of who you think you are and how you think you should show up based on experiences of your past. And how people do the work, because I know some people may start, and I used to be that person suggesting, like, oh, journal, do yoga, do the. It's going to be different for everybody. You'll you'll pick up the tool that can help you, that'll be specific to you, that'll help you just by learning to lean into that vulnerability. And leaning into that vulnerability, a lot of times, is just admitting to yourself, I'm not okay. And I'm going to give myself room to really feel that and be in that energy of I'm not okay. And I'm not going to try to rush and get out of it so I can seem, so I can give myself a false medal. You know what I'm saying? So I can give myself a false win. I'm not going to try, or when I say false wins can show up as you always being a strong friend. You always got it together. You know what I'm saying? I can't miss this invite because then it's going to start to look like this. Or I can't, not answer the phone knowing that I really don't have the mental capacity or the emotional capacity to deal with this. But if I don't be there for them, I'm not sure how they'll feel about me or if I still have that same rank with them in a relationship. Once you're ready to first acknowledge that and be honest about it and recognize it, that's the intention that you set to understand why. And once you start asking the questions why, you'll start to begin the unfolding and the you know, peeling back those layers. And as you begin to agree, because you have to agree to this process, um, whether emotionally, mentally, or physically, you know, once you agree to it, you will begin to get the tools that you need to facilitate certain exercises to help you to elevate in those spiritual classrooms that you will be attending. I just heard, uh, um, but that's it. I think for now, I think I do want to go talk deeper into how those quantum leaps and bounds happen as you begin to heal, um, and recalibrating in that space. It's almost like some people talk about. They talk about there's a syndrome where you don't recognize who you are, or you think that you're not supposed to have certain things, because you're not realizing how great you are. You know what I'm saying? You think other people can have certain things, abundant things, but you don't think you can. It's a certain syndrome. Um, it's not coming to me now. But what should I say about that? When you're going through the quantum leaps and then having to recalibrate, it feels like you start to go through the motions of accepting that you're worthy, going through the motions of accepting that you're worthy, and what that may look like to you now, and accepting certain storylines that you've been feeding yourself, and sometimes stopping your thoughts in mid sentence and being like, "Nah, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna shift that." And instead of me saying something, for example, like, uh, you may see a celebrity and be like, "Man, they always look happy. Like they look happy." You know what I'm saying? And then you may feel a certain way about that, like, that's good, but they always seem happy. As if you can't be it, then if you're able to pay attention to that feeling and be like, wait, like, even if you don't change it, even if you don't just change it up and say, I'm a happy person, because that could feel like a lie. You can say something like, affirm, like, I may not be at a space where I feel 100% happy, but I'm excited and aspire to be naturally what that happiness is in divine right timing. You can say things like that, and just that right there will start to shift the paradigm that you are in, and it opens you up. So that's that. Exhibiting forgiveness. I hope I touched on it like I was supposed to. If not, hopefully there'll be another video. But until next time, peace.